Hey guys, what's up? It's AnimeSelect, and I know not another. I know you're probably wondering, well, what the hell's the anime? It's coming. Believe me, it's coming. I have a video already done. I'm editing part 2 of that, and I'm starting work on a script for another series, and I have another series I'm watching currently. I am watching a lot of anime. It's just I take a lot of time to do what I do because I want to make sure that I turn out a good product. I'm still learning and I'm still trying to get a schedule together. And I think so far I'm getting into a good rhythm. So expect that kind of stuff soon. Anyway, if you can't tell from my excessive posters, which this wall really honestly, it's huge, so you can't really see how many of these posters I have, and also from my shirt, I am a Marvel fan. There they are. Sorry. Yep, I'm a Marvel fan. Um, so I just went to see Civil War, and I thought I'd do a video on that plus a bonus thing where I show you my free comic book day haul because today is in fact free comic book day. Like this happens every year, May 7th. So if you missed it this year, mark it on your calendar and get ready for next year and support your local comic book shop. So now that I've gotten that out of the way, let's talk about Civil War. I have read Civil War. Okay, I've read this. Overall, what I think about this story is that it's a nice event comic. It's a very broad and it gets a lot of different characters involved, and I think that they did a good job. You know, I mean, the story itself still has issues, and I still have some gripes with it, mostly from the civilians that they have to deal with. It seems like I often make the comparison that in Marvel, the citizens aren't grateful enough, and then in DC, they elevate their heroes to almost a godlike status that they cannot reach. So it's like two ends of a spectrum that will never have a middle ground, which I mean, you can kind of say that about our society. We either elevate someone to the point where we think that they're a god or a goddess, either through our own media or our own perception, and then you have the other half where they are so ungrateful for anything and everything that people will do or try to do or whatever. So with this movie, and by the way, this is a spoiler review. If you don't want spoilers, I'm going to put a timestamp here to tell you when to skip to for when I get done with this review. And then you can at least check out my comic book haul. Or you can check out what I thought about, just the movie overall and give you a quick rating. But yeah, so warning. So this movie, done by the Russo brothers, who I believe did Winter Soldier, which is probably the up there with my favorite Marvel movies. It's Iron Man, Winter Soldier, and then I think the first Avengers movie. They did a phenomenal job on Winter Soldier. They did Civil War, and in all honesty, they just kind of took the name Civil War and took the concept of there being legislation that the Avengers would have to deal with. That's about it. The act in the movie is nothing like the act in the book. The whole Registration Act thing, while we didn't get any details on it, we don't get too many details about this act in this movie. The whole thing dealt more with anonymity. It dealt with the fact that we don't know who these people are. We need them registered, and we need their secret identities to be not secret anymore, because if the government needs them, we need a name to go call. And Steve was against that, among other reasons, and Tony was for it for other reasons. In this movie, it's about the Sokovian charter or whatever they called it, because the government already knows who these people are, thanks to Natasha at the end of Winter Soldier when she leaked everything. So they already know these people, but now they need them to be regulated, because after New York, Sokovia, Berlin and like the latest incident that happened in the movie, they're like, these people are out of fucking control and they have superpowers, or they're augmented, or they are super geniuses that can build suits and everything. Like, we have to control them, we have to monitor them, they need to be under UN supervision. So that's essentially what this is. And they did a good job of making you see both sides. I was so stuck in the middle, I didn't pick a side. Because they both presented good points, and I could also see it was like a pros and cons in each side. I saw the pros on Tony's side, and I also saw the cons, and I saw the pros on Steve's side, and I also saw cons. So I was just kind of like, in all honesty, I was probably, if you have seen the movie, I was probably Black Panther, which I will get to him because, oh my God, okay, but I was honestly him. I didn't have a side. I didn't agree with any of this. In all honesty, I probably would have just went with my own motivation or whatever, my own agendas, and been fine. But they did a good job of why, like, if you came in supporting one side, I'm pretty sure by the end of it you were questioning that side and also looking at the other side through a more like through a different lens now that you get the both sides of the story. So I thought they did good with that. The characters, of course, Chris Evans is phenomenal as Captain America. Robert Downey Jr., he's fucking Tony Stark, okay? Like, he was bred in a lab, I am pretty sure of it. And like, they waited for the Marvel movies to happen, and they put him in. Scarlett Johansson was great. Don Cheadle is always really funny and like reserved with Rhodey. Like, we're all really good. Paul Bettany as Vision. Vision was adorable in this movie. I really liked him. Everybody did a phenomenal job, and I want to highlight two characters that they introduced in this movie. The one of Spider-Man and Black Panther. Now, if you know me personally, which you don't, but here you go, I love Black Panther. I absolutely adore Black Panther for what he stands for the symbolism that he, creates. I just love the concept of him. It's just so hard to find like a really strong like Black superhero character, or just a character that is that can stand toe to toe with some of the other more popular characters and be like just as smart or just as quick and just as strong. And that's what T'Challa was. And Chadwick Boseman, I believe is how you pronounce his last name, he did, and the writers did a phenomenal job with bringing Black Panther to the screen. Like, they got him on point. I loved it. He was a complete badass. Like, he was amazing. I can't even encapsulate into words just how wonderful he was. And I was afraid that they were going to like mess him up or, not put that much effort into him. But it's obvious that they really wanted you to get invested in this character because his movie's kind of like up next in 2017, I believe, or either 2018 now. So he's kind of coming up next on the roster. So they want to make sure that you get invested and you remember him. And you'll remember him. You will definitely remember him. And speaking of, his movie got pushed back because of Spider-Man. Now, when I first heard about this, I was mad. I was pissed. I've been waiting since I discovered the character, I think around 2007 or 8. So I've been waiting since then for them to do something big with Black Panther. And when I heard about the movies coming out, I was so hyped. And then to hear that he got pushed back for Spider-Man again, I got angry. Okay, I'm tired of seeing Uncle Ben die 7 different ways, all right? So, Spider-Man's in Civil War, and I love the way that they introduced him. I love the way that they brought him in, and the actor who plays Spider-Man, I don't know your name, but he did a phenomenal job as well. I can actually say I cannot wait for the new Spider-Man movie if this is what we get. If this is a preview of what we're going to get with the new Spider-Man, then you can sign me up. I'm not even that angry anymore if this is what we get in order to wait for Black Panther. Like, I'm still mad, but I'm not as mad because I do have faith now that this will actually be a good movie. He was very snarky, very adorable, just very, he seemed a lot like Peter from the comics. And I think that that's what a lot of the other movies missed, is that they try to make him too wholesome. Because, like, with the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies, they went too wholesome. So, like, when he tried to have that dark side in Spider-Man 3, it just came off as a joke. The Amazing Spider-Man movies, I saw the first one, I didn't see the second one, but I mean, we have to reboot the whole franchise now, and they were only 2 minutes in, so that just lets you know how great that was doing. But I have faith in this new Spider-Man, and I have faith in that new movie coming out. And I think when you go see Civil War and you see this Spider-Man and how he interacts with all the Avengers and just how he fights and his quips and his personality that shines through, you'll kind of get that same bolstering of hope that I did. But I felt like overall the plot for the movie was really solid, and I was afraid that they were going to make this everybody's movie. But I mean, screen time wise, they try to divide it up evenly, but overall the plot is about Captain America trying to get his friend Bucky back after he had been, he's supposedly responsible for this incident at the United Nations when they're about to sign the Sokovian whatever. So it's about him trying to get, Bucky back on his side and trying to, clear his friend's name. And it's kind of like everybody else gets involved, mostly because mostly because of the government. The government is the catalyst in this. It's kind of like, the government wants to sign them on, but also the government's looking for Bucky. So it's kind of like everybody gets involved, but not really. I feel like the people who took up the most time, actually, were Bucky, Captain, and Black Panther. And every now and again, Black Widow. Those are pretty much. Oh, and Vision and Scarlet Witch. Those were the ones I felt that got a lot of the screen time and a lot of the movie. Because even though Tony was in it a lot, he didn't really shine till the end. Like his screen time and his meat didn't happen until the end of the movie. But like plot wise, I thought it was great. Character wise, I thought it was wonderful. The action was, some of that crap was, you were watching a comic book movie, but you know what, I can't even be mad at it. I needed some silly summer action fun. This is a good kickoff to the summer movie season, I can tell you that, with the action especially. The soundtrack, as always, I haven't yet heard I don't even know if the sentence made sense, but I haven't heard a Marvel soundtrack, or score, I guess I should say, that I have not liked. I feel like they all fit the occasion and that they all are very well produced, so kudos to them. Let's see. Overall, I think my only big complaint is the unwanted, at least in my opinion, the unwanted romance between Sharon Carter and Captain America, or Steve Rogers, because it just kind of seemed like it came out of nowhere, and it seems kind of creepy, And I mean, I know they do that in the comics anyway, but that's still kind of creepy. Oh, I couldn't make it with your aunt, so let me make it with you. It's still kind of the same thing, right? It's just kind of, it's just meh. I don't like it. It wigs me out a bit. It's like, oh no, your aunt's dead, but you're alive. Hey, what you doing later on tonight? No, that's nasty. But overall, despite that, and that's pretty much my one and only real big complaint, I would just tell you that don't go in looking for this. Don't go in looking for a retelling of this, because that's what I did. And I have to say that I was pleasantly surprised with the end product, because it wasn't this, but it was something different and it was something great. These two things just so happen to share the same name and kind of the same plot, but they really are different. They're pretty different, at least in my opinion. So overall, I would give this a 10 out of 10. Would watch again, and I probably am. Probably next weekend when my friend comes to visit me. So now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about comics. I'm going to run through these real quick. We were able to get 3 per customer. I went with another friend of mine. I was able to get 3 per customer. So I picked up one from Graphic India by Grant Morrison, who I've heard of, and Javon J. King, I believe is how to pronounce his name. I'm sorry if it's wrong. It looks like Avatrix. I'm so sorry, I'm butchering this. Destroyer of Darkness. And I kind of flipped through this one earlier, and it looks like this is going to be a superhero based in India and kind of like Indian myth or, mythos for the most part. And they even have a little snippet in here where they show you the script layout. And it even states in here like they wanted it to begin in India and kind of have it, to quote this thing, I'd like Avatrix or how you pronounce it, to be a psychedelic comic filled with incredible bright colors, wild images, and a fresh modern take on Indian life. And you know what? I can appreciate that. From what I've been flipping through, I really do like the imagery. They were on point with that, and they also have like a little preview for this other thing called 18 Days, which I'll look through. But so far, I really like the visuals of the first story, and it seems like it's going somewhere. I just wish the preview had a bit more to it. We don't get to see a lot. This is the true essence of a preview. It's almost like a teaser trailer compared to some of the other things I have in here, which include Rom. I've heard a lot about Rom. I've heard a lot of good things about Rom, I should say, and he comes from IDW Publishing. I've heard a lot of good things, and this one I feel like gives us a little bit more in-depth preview for the comics, and this also has a back issue for something called Action Man, which I believe isn't out yet. Yep, it's a preview for Action Man, which comes out June. Didn't say when, it just says June. So look out for Action Man if you're interested. It looks like they're from the same publisher, and maybe no, not the same people, but the same publisher. And then I got good old Marvel. I got the new Steve Rogers Captain America little preview because when I heard, I guess with the whole new reboot, he's back as Captain America now. I'm still confused on how the whole Secret Wars thing is happening. But it looks like he's back. And what I'm glad they didn't do was make him come back, but then like also get rid of Sam as Captain America as well. It's like that was such a good thing that they did, and then to have him take it away would have been horrible, but I'm glad that they didn't. So I guess, what do I care? I'm just glad that they kept Sam in captain position, and those are my 3 freebies, and then I bought 4. I bought Invincible Iron Man #1 because I thought I'd check it out. I'm trying to check out all the new #1s that happen after like Secret Wars for the most part, just to get kind of get a fresh start, because when I did start reading comics, I was reading on like issues 30 or like 40 something or 50, and I never really knew when to get on. So kudos to them, I guess, on the fact of, a reboot getting people like a head start on, because that's what I'm doing, so it works, I guess. I got Silk #1 and #2 mostly because if I can't watch Robbie Thompson's writing on Supernatural anymore, you're damn sure I'm going to read it. I've already heard such wonderful things about Silk. So I figured I might as well give it a chance. I remember I think I downloaded this actually from the Marvel Digital Comic Store for free. But I always like to have a hand copy. I'm a artist myself, and I just love to see the artwork and just to kind of analyze it better instead of being on a computer screen. I can just look at it, right in my face. Uh, so yeah, Silk 1 and 2. And then I also got the new X-Men. Well, the new Extraordinary X-Men, I should say. And also, pardon me. That probably won't be edited out because I'm really tired. But I got the new, one of the new imprints of the new X-Men, the Extraordinary X-Men. Mostly because, also, if you know me, then you will know that I have loved Kurt Wagner or Nightcrawler since I was young. I used to watch the early 2000s X-Men cartoon, and Kurt was always one of my favorites. Nightcrawler is one of my favorites. And, it pissed me off when they killed him, but then he came back. And then, the reboot happened, and that kind of pissed me off because I just got him back. But you know what? I don't know if I really like the new design for him. It looks really gruff. And Kurt always had like this boyish, youthful charm. He was always like, he didn't take himself too seriously when he didn't have to. It was just, he was always kind of like the playful guy, but he could be serious when he needed to be. So I don't know if I really care for this new design just yet. He kind of looks like Wolverine almost, in all honesty. Yeah, he looks like Wolverine. And I guess they're like, since we made Logan old now, we gotta make a new Wolverine design, and I don't know how I feel about that. But yeah, I'm gonna try to read it and see how much he comes up in like the later issues, because I love my blue baby bamfing all over the place. So yeah, that was my day. And I mean, I got 3 free comics. I guess 4 I bought, and I have a wonderful Alex Ross poster that I'm gonna put up that he did for Marvel's 75th anniversary, and it's of Iron Man, because that's how I got started in the comics. I saw that movie, and as much as some of y'all like to complain about it, it works. And like, hopefully soon I'll be able to see the new Black Panther series, because I couldn't find it at that shop. But I'll be able to get this, and I'll be able to start Black Panther new, because, oh my God, I already have a bunch of them, but I want to read the new series that's happening. So, thank you all for watching. Anime reviews are coming soon. Actually, there should be one up about this week, if not this upcoming weekend. Like, soon, people, soon. So, keep your eyes peeled. So, thank you all for watching. I will see you all in the next video. And I hope you all go see Civil War. It's really, really good. This is AnimeSelect, signing off. Bye.